So the journey of a freelancer and a small business owner is never a straight line. I mean, there are tons of graphs that explain it, where you go into the sort of elation of being a freelancer or small business owner when things are going well, and then you start to think about what if things go bad. And that's really when self-sabotage gets a hold of you, because it freezes you up and you stop taking action and doing the things that you know you need to do in order to grow your business and your client base. So in this video, I want to talk about how I use my past experiences, all the things that got you to this point, those things. I want to talk about how I use those things, the past experience of life in general and my past experience in business, to help me overcome self-sabotage. So there are two things that I do really, and the first thing that I do, and it might sound very simple, but I guarantee you most people do not do this one simple thing, is write down your past experiences. Right? I like to use pen and paper. You use whatever you feel comfortable with, but it's to actually make a note of past experience. So for example, you could say your past experience is starting a business, right? Or starting a freelancer, getting 0 clients, going from 0 clients to 1 client. That's literally it, to write down. In 2017 I had 0 clients, January 2017, and then decided to do freelancing and got 1 client in March. Or maybe it took you longer and it's August, but it's important to write that down, and then you can follow that up with, well, and then my second client I got a month later, so maybe the time was shorter, and then my third client, whatever it is, and so you start to write these things down. So you actually start to look at the journey, look at the map of the experiences that you've been through. So you start to gain sort of a high level view of what your achievements are and what your achievements have been. Now this might seem like a simple practice, but I guarantee you most people don't do it. And when you start taking that, and this is just with one example of winning a client, when you look at other things like developing a skill, for example, let's say you never knew how to market your business, and you said, at the beginning you knew nothing about marketing, and now at least I know what it is to identify a customer segment. Like, that's great. Like, you didn't know that before and now you do. Or let's say it was more something technical, you had to set up your own website and you knew nothing about web design and now you do. Or maybe it was something about colors. If you're anything like me, you are color deaf. You'll notice in most of my videos I'm kind of just wearing a black or blue or something, a dark color t-shirt. I think I look good in it. Maybe you can comment and let me know just how good I look, or don't. It's okay, you don't have to. Let's keep it positive. But you could, if you have a skill around colors, you could say that you knew nothing about colors and now you know something. Or you knew nothing about design and now you know something. The important thing about this exercise is to remind yourself, that contract that you're doing when you're writing things down, when you're noting it, to remind yourself of the journey that you've been through, that you've come through, that you are going through, that you started with nothing and you've grown. And you're adding new skills, continually adding new skills. This list there's no end to this list. This list can grow and grow and grow. I really recommend it's something that you continue to do. So I still do this every year. I make a list of the things I learned that year or this year, whatever, at the end of the year, end of the quarter even. I make a list of things I've achieved using your past experience. Using a list to document sort of just how much you've grown is a great way for you to overcome imposter syndrome, so you can realize just how fantastic you are. Another tool that I use in using my past experience is not just actually documenting these skills or documenting, I had 0 clients, now I've got 5. It's also documenting who those clients are. Now, this may not seem like it's useful, but I promise you, once you put those names to a list, for me, after 14 years of running Imagination, when I put my client list together, that list is pretty impressive. An example, just recently I've signed up Vodafone as well as Sun International. Now, those are massive names as clients. And if I sort of just trot along through the projects through the years and I go through my book of clients and I look back to all the clients that I have worked with and continue to work with, that list is pretty impressive. So if you're starting out, or if you've gotten going and you're hitting a bit of imposter syndrome, to look back at the clients that you have worked with and continue to work with is a great way for you to sort of rebuild some of that confidence that you're losing when facing with a new challenge. If you want to get a little bit philosophical about things, you know, and you're getting in touch with who you are when you're making these lists are really going to help you just see your own value. And that's the importance of it. That's why we write it down. We don't just think about it. We actually just write it down on, I like to use a piece of paper, so it makes it easy for me just to see visually. I can draw and I can sort of do colors and doodles, and I like doing that kind of thing. And maybe you do too. So I'd recommend doing that. Or if you prefer sort of using a tablet or a computer, and that's where you can document these things as well. That's a great way to do it as well. The important thing is to do the exercise, do what works for you. Create these lists. Like I said, it's 2 lists. So the one is of growth in terms of your past experience, what you didn't know and what you know now. And then the other list is just a list of client names. It's names, it's people you like, you know, if you met a famous person, it's the same as that. It's the clients that you work with. And there is nothing too small in small business and in freelancers to be proud of. You should always look back and take sort of a photo of where you've come from. I hope this was useful for you, and I hope you're going to try out this new list. And as always, please watch this end clip. Hopefully you enjoy it. This was me physically with imposter syndrome making this video, and so yeah, I hope you take me up on that offer. Cheers. Awesome job on watching the video till the end. Most people die out at the first minute and a half, so wow, you must have left it on play by accident. I don't know what to do about that, but if you are watching, then thanks and well done to you. So if you're anything like me and you've struggled with imposter syndrome in building your business or growing your freelance business, then I want to let you know you're not alone. I've been there. I've been through these challenges that you go through, the self-doubt, imposter syndrome, just feeling like you absolutely don't know what you're doing at every step, but for some ways you luck into things and you don't know how you're getting it right. Like that happens, that's real. So if you resonate with any part of this message, I want to offer you a call with me. If you have something that you want to work through, you want to talk through, you want to just bounce an idea off someone and you're not quite sure where to go, I'm the guy. So if you go to the link that's on your screen, or probably at the end of this video, if you are watching on YouTube, look in the description of the video for the link to my website. We'll just allow you to connect with me and choose a day and time that works for you so we can have a conversation. I'd love to hear what you're going through. I'd love to see if my experience can maybe lend some advice to where you are in your journey. It's when great minds come together that we really see some wonderful things happening. I hope your mind is greater than mine, because sometimes I just don't know. Anyway, thanks again. I hope you